So they have had a very different attitude altogether. And many other leaders in India, political leaders and intellectuals and opinion makers like the columnists and people, they have said it in so many words. So it's a narrow cult to which the whole community is subjected to suffer.
And what about in Pakistan, Mr. President? Do you think it makes any difference to the pressure that's brought on India, which government is in power in Pakistan?
That also would make some difference, no doubt, but not much of it. Because,
who would press hardest?
I think the present Prime Minister, belonging to Kashmir, as Nehru belonged to Kashmir at that time, he's also very hard pressed that he cannot make any concession like that. But at the same time, if he would do it, then he would be capable of making concession, because he can say he's also a Kashmiri. No other Kashmiri is better than him, so he can make some concession from that point of view. From that claim that he has over Kashmir, being a Kashmiri.
When you talk about concession, do you mean territorial concession?
Not territorial, but finding a mutual way out how to resolve this issue. But there were no territorial concession. Nobody can make it territorial. But that has been also discussed, to hold a regional type of a plebiscite based on the demographic complexion of the area. But then, of course, the whole thing boils down to this, that India is not prepared to agree to anything. Therefore, from our side, we cannot discuss the proposal.
As I understand it, not prepared to talk about agreeing to anything.
Yes, that's right. They're not prepared to talk about it. That's the position. Yes. Mr. Frederick also, he came here last time, two months back. And he's also been, a very close friend of Indians and Pakistanis moving here. And he also was on the same opinion. But then everybody felt that this was being very unreasonable in presence of the situation. As long as this situation had not erupted in Kashmir, it was different. But now that it has happened like this, then some solution will have to be found out.
What do you think brought it to a head? I mean, the most recent trouble. Why do you think they erupted in this way?
Yes, we'll go to that question. Right. And there's some identity of the Kashmiri people. That's where they have reacted very, very severely.
What will happen to the Hindu minority in Kashmir if
they can live with us as good citizens we are, and we have lived together all these years? You must not have heard a single incident where there was any trouble on the basis of religious.
No, you're quite right. You're quite right. I've never heard of a single such.
No. So here in Pakistan, for example, Muslims have been killing all along these 40 years in India. But there will be no Hindu killing here, you see, in Pakistan. There's a lot of Hindus in Biritish and in Sindh. But there's no such killing so far. We would like to live in peace with them. And if they want to come to a political solution, I mean, political political requirements, we are prepared to sit and talk to them. Sort it out on that basis also. In Kashmir, there should be no problem. People have lived in peace for such a long time.
If there was suddenly to be a change, if both the Danes suddenly said, okay, we've had enough, let's sit down and talk, what would the freedom fighters do? Would the freedom fighters accept that?
They'll accept it, yes. They'll accept it. At the moment, yes. But we cannot say after.
In other words, the quicker the better.
Yes, the 2, 3, 4 months, what happens? Many times they gain ground, they gain strength. They're supported by Pakistan, they're supported by Libya, they're supported by Iran, by China, somebody else, we do not know who's supporting who. At the moment, they're not sure. If they gain strength, then it will be out from there. But at the moment, it is quite possible, and we know them, that you can talk to them and you can bring them around to us.
Mr. Raiy, as I understand it, if you talk, or if in fact it does talk, the agenda would not include the possibility of an independent country.
If they want to include both sides, we do not mind.
So you wouldn't advocate that yourself as a solution?
Provided it was moved by India. We can't move it ourselves. If we did that, then this would provide an edge to India against us, and then we are in a disadvantage position. But if India agreed to an independent state with a defined status, agreed by the United Nations or the powers around, maybe the Kashmiris are prepared to discuss it with us. What is a suggestion which we can't even talk about in the present circumstance? There is a section in Kashmir which believes in independent Kashmir. It's quite a protected section. But although ultimately they can't resist joining with Pakistan. And then India will have a difficulty about independence. Once India, the Indian leadership, utters the word of independence for Kashmir, it will have to ipso facto concede the secessionist movements and independent movements in India itself. And then they will come around with a counter argument that now it poses a threat to Indian integrity, therefore we can't move on.
Even as you were describing India's problems, India's belief to be out there, it struck me as an independent Kashmir would at least have the advantage of convincing India that a larger, stronger, unified Pakistan, one they call it, was a Muslim threat which was more than they could manage. But then I realised that they believe that if Kashmir, talk about independence, other states in India can probably do the same.
You see what I'm saying? This question of independent Kashmir has been discussed over and over again by almost the entire community with us, met us. But what we have said to them is that we might agree to it, but who is there to assure us that India will also accept it? But if India doesn't accept it, and we say yes from our side, then we lose our power. It will become like a suggestion like that. If a real lasting solution is to be made at all, then it has to be either in accession with India or with Pakistan. An independent state will continue to remain an irritant between both the countries, and next week they might go to war over it. So this will be, in fact, practically no solution. The real solution is that they honor their agreements and commitments that they made to the world and to themselves, and go for a plebiscite, or go for a negotiated solution which is acceptable to both the parties. Particularly the Kashmiris. The concept of independent Kashmir poses greater threat to India than to Pakistan. Although once the countries become independent, well, then it's not possible to bring them back. We fear that also. But at the same time, India is also under greater threat with independent Kashmir.
Meanwhile, Mr. President, while all these desperate things are being considered, Kashmir has other problems that you have to deal with, economic problems.
Yes. It's a very pressing problem economically. Kashmir has been strangulated and loss of crops. The army has been destroying and burning and standing crops all along, and trying to create artificial food shortages. And we have done so to any extent. They have tried almost every conceivable layer of repression and atrocity. There is this allegation by India that Pakistan is sponsoring this agreement. If Pakistan was to do that, why should it not have trained our own militants on this side and send 5,000 or 6,000 of them, and they will play havoc there in that side. But the Indians have not reported any person from Azad Kashmir so far having joined the militants who were their kids and kids. So this allegation is absolutely baseless. And then who can instigate such a large number of people, and men, women, children, old, young, everybody? Who has that magic you see to do it? Just supplying arms, which somebody was doing it, is not enough. If I had access to arms, I would have certainly supplied them. But unfortunately, I haven't really. You see, my own people being killed, unarmed. How can a man like me sit back and watch all this? But we are equally concerned with the international obligations of this country where we live.
I said to a man in the refugee camp, who said there were no arms coming in from Pakistan. There was no assistance being provided by Pakistan. And I said to him, do you think there ought to be? And he said, yes, I do. Which I thought was a good answer, because if he said, no, I don't, I wouldn't have believed him. I wouldn't have believed the first answer I
said. Who would not accept assistance when you are in need? You're so hard-pressed.
When do you return to Kashmir?
Well, I keep going and coming.
You would then wait here one day?
Yes.
इंटरसेप्शन है पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट रेड कर रही है तो चोर करेंगे फिर बस बिल्कुल देखेंगे
शहर
फिर मंगला डैम मंगला फोर्ट और लास्ट फोर्ट ऑफिस सर उनके फर्स्ट थी वैसे वहाँ के अगर कोई लीडर जो है या वो लोग जो में रह रहे हैं उनकी कम्युनिटी के कुछ लोग इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं उनसे बातचीत कर लेते हैं सही का मैंने सजेस्ट किया
We actually have a request to make about Mir Fort, if we may.
Yes, please.
You were enormously kind in lending General Farouk the capture yesterday. It's very helpful in coming with us to Mir Fort. You need it.
No, he can be with you.
I think we could persuade him.
You can take him to UK for a while if you want.
Mirpur would be more like your own constitution.
He also belongs to Mirpur. Yes, he also belongs to Mirpur.
What about that?
So when we discovered again from Mirpur, we said it would be a great shame if we were not to come here.
Your chief minister said to me yesterday, your chief secretary said to me yesterday, we have two areas of responsibility. Here in Islamabad we have the responsibilities of the Gulf. In Mirpur we have the responsibility of the United Kingdom.
Yes. So some offer at the Mirpur. When are you going to Mirpur tomorrow? Day after? Wednesday. It's pretty far off. So, he belongs to, both of them are our ex-ministers of the AK Common, and members of the dissolved assembly. Otherwise, in their own right, recognized people who will make a new. there locally, we can look for anybody who is available that you can talk to, indiscriminately, which party and which creed he belongs to. You're asking government to present those people. Anybody you like. It will be good. You take them out without any program. You can probably talk to people in the streets. Mix up with them as if you were in your own constituency.
Very good. We must also, we arranged it, we're turning home tonight and tomorrow, meet a family and some of my friends in Scotland. We didn't arrange it before we came, because we didn't want to be followed here by a very large number of my own constituents. But we will talk tonight to someone so that they can actually see a family from which some people who I know have come. The picture in my mind is that
There are many people going that or say. The Muslim is also knows he can also take chances. Without your liability, all that also be helpful.
I live around the corner from the member of the Kashmir Parliament who's elected in the United Kingdom. Yes, the new one.
Oh, the new one, yes.
Lives half a mile from where I live.
Awesome.
Exactly, yes, that's where I live.
Is it a personal question? This is word Roy. Is it of English or Indian denomination?
I don't know.
Have you been asked this question by anybody else?
Yes, I have. Yes,
I see.
It goes back in English, or Scottish, to be precise. Scottish history for 400 or 500 years. And I suspect it is the Scottish.
Yeah, it is Scottish. In India, we have it's commonly used
As a family.
Yeah, family right. Yes.
Because very many of my constituents who don't know very well think, well, start half me. Because of the juxtaposition of family name first and given name second. And partly because Hattersley, when you look at it, does in some ways look like a translated into English symbol. They look at it, Roy Hattersley, and it could be the satirical magazine in England, Private Eye, always used to refer to me as Roy Hattersley. My association with this subject.
I see.
Roy is a very working class name in England. You will never find anybody called Roy who was born into the middle or upper class. They all come from the working class. There may be an aristocratic Roy, but I go ahead.
It's just the other way in India.
The other way.
The other way around in India. Roy symbolizes higher elite.
I'm afraid it's not like that.
All the well-known Roys come from the Commonwealth, like Will Edsley. They're Commonwealth people, not British ones.
Yeah, that's quite true. Roy Williams is the most senior. Roy Jenkins, who has become a very aristocratic figure, is the son of a coal miner.
I see.
Roy Rogers, Roy Rogers was just Roy Rogers. Kashmir, but even more beautiful the more you moved into the Indian part.
Yes, it's much more beautiful.
More beautiful what region, Mr. President?
It
Greener.
is greener, developed, wider valleys,
Lakes.
and well, not many lakes, but there are one big lake and then small ones. South Kashmir interior is also very, very beautiful. It's very scenic. You didn't have time to go into the interior. That needs to be in place.
So, Muzaffar on a pleasant day, isn't it?
This time it has been cooler than the normal routine season. I don't know why, because of the delayed rains, so far. Even last week we had snowfall around the beaches. I was expecting a friend from the British Embassy.
Good deal. Thereby came to tell.
Did you come?
The time was in the book. The one question I do behind
Much pleasure. It was very much looking forward to seeing it.
I requested the ambassador also to join us for that, but although he didn't say it, I think this question of visiting or not visiting the Kashmir territory is because he didn't come. He might have had some.
He may have not wanted to have my style, I don't know.
Yeah, but
But since the government of Pakistan is responsible for your foreign relations, he is responsible for, and that Kashmir is responsible for.
well, we had many British ambassadors coming to visit Islamabad. They do come sometimes. And senior American embassy officials also regularly come back.
Were there to be a plebiscite referendum, and were it to turn out to be a single Kashmir inside Pakistan, single Kashmir, would you want the state of Kashmir to have the same sort of relations with Pakistan as we have now? I mean, Pakistan is responsible for currency, defence, foreign affairs, but independent in every other way.
In case of bloodshed, one thing which has to be decided is whether it's a bloodshed to be held in accordance with the resolutions, which say that you can proceed either with India or with Pakistan. There's no third option. So if you exceed it, then there's no question of a third position. But if by some stretch of imagination, which I do not so far know, it was said to be a third option, and Kashmiris exercised it that way. Who could put it, I do not know. But
That's what I was saying. I mean, let's assume the substitute goes to the third option with Pakistan. Does the relationship of the new united Kashmir, does it become a province of Pakistan, or does it have the same
we are so
autonomous relationship
far committed.
as now?
We are so far committed to the instrument of accession under the UN resolutions, which say that it exceeds. And the accession has also been explained what it exactly means. We Kashmiris so far stick to it unless we change it later on. Today it means that it is foreign affairs, defense and currency which will remain with the center, and then the rest of the state will be autonomous.
And that is how you imagine it,
That is how we imagine it so far.
even if Indian Kashmir is united to Azad.
United to all our Kashmiris.
Still the same, still the same constitutional
Yes,
relation.
but we're not gone beyond it so far. We'll stick to it. Some people think that it might become a fifth province. The Kashmiris themselves generally believe that it should retain its identity and within the overall paramountcy of Pakistan, like the previous Indian state. That's how the people generally would like to live. have green tea or
Green tea.
yes, sir, please.
I have to wait for it to get in here.
Oh, absolutely all right.
Unfortunate, but I'm avoidable.
It's a very precious moment. You don't get time to come here, and I don't mind. It's a meaning.
Yes, your turn to come and visit me in London next time.
Everything absolutely irregular, and everything has to be built from the ground, fresh, exerting much more energy than one can afford. So,
How did you carry the politics in the first place? Were you a lawyer once? Or
no, I had opportunity to trigger this revolt in Kashmir. I was in the British Indian Army for some time in the Second World War. Then I resigned from there and joined. In fact, I led this revolt in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir State, Azad Kashmir, which is called Azad Kashmir, and in the commanding brigade of 6 battalions in action. All revolutionaries, I mean, not when you say brigade, it doesn't mean the formal brigade, you see, strength-wise. And that led us to liberate quite a big chunk of territory. And of course, it was joined in by many, many more people. See, than more than 40,000 people had joined in on various fronts. So that resulted in liberating the present Azad Kashmir territory, including the northern areas. It's about 32,000 square miles all told. And then, of course, when it came to ceasefire, I then decided not to stay with the armed forces, and then 1st of January 49, thought of joining the political organization that we all belonged to at one time mentally. And since then I've been in politics, 49. A long time. This is the fourth tenure, this is the fourth time I've been elected as president. Every tenure did not last for a full time. It was cut short by various accidents, and I was in prison for more than 4 times.
under which government was that?
Well, different governments under Abdul Qayyum, under the previous government led by very early, you see, maybe you might not be in touch with them. This was the government led by Haja Nazimuddin. This was in early 50s.
That was before I was gone.
No, after you. After you. You Constantine also.
That was before you.
That was before you. But then I was
Early 50s.
yeah, early 50s.
You
Then I
come
was-
here in 58. Left.
Then I was arrested during his time also. And again I was arrested in Bhutto's time. I was arrested in Ziaul Haq. And I remember for another tenure.
You've been the longest on the scene, I think, in Pakistan.
In Pakistan politics, I'm perhaps the eldest.
And how long were you kept in prison?
All took all these four terms.
What was the longest?
1.5 years. Was the longest.
Really? And what was your crime? Preaching Kashmiri?
At one time trying to violate the ceasefire line. That was for the first time in 1.5 years. Ultimately it proved that I was right and they were in the wrong. Secondly, again violating the ceasefire line en masse. And third time violating Bhutto's instructions and his government, and defying his government. And the fourth time in conflict with the martial law regime, they all happened. So like that. Every time it was a political affair.
Now, in your elevated position of party politics, can you explain to us why general elections are coming about in Kashmir, why Parliament has been dissolved, and why there's to be an election at this time?
Mr. Atterson, there are many questions which remain unanswered because and honestly telling you, you never know the whole truth behind it. All is conjectures, guesswork, and some information might be very, very accurate. This government, which was installed by Benazir, when Benazir herself left, you see, naturally a vacuum was created, and the next government which came in was not on good terms with the government in Kashmir. The way it was elected, we never recognized and accepted it. We thought that the right of the people to form government had been very grossly violated. A lot of rigging had been done, and a lot of influencing by the federal government, which they had never done before. 2 dozen federal ministers had been campaigning in a small territory like that. And then the amount of money being spent and other things, you see. So we thought it was not a right thing done by the federal government in Azad Kashmir. They shouldn't have done it. In the meantime, we still tried to, after Benazir was ousted, we thought, all right, let's compromise with the situation and see if the government really works. But the government, according to the Prime Minister's own statement, who dissolved the parliament, he said that I was surrounded by blackmailers, and the people were not interested in the war of liberation. Hello? So, this was what. Secondly, we've been trying to stage a no confidence against this government, and we failed twice or thrice. But then we were coming close to it when he thought that he could not carry on any longer. And then he, in a desperate act, he dissolved the assembly. Many people, even the government of Pakistan itself, is still at a loss to find out what really had actually happened. But I personally think that there's nothing very serious to be investigated about. It was just a very simple phenomenon of the man not being able to cope with the situation. The administration had completely flopped. There was total political chaos and total the development fund of the huge money which was allocated to the government. Only 10% had been spent in the year. So you could see what chaos it would have created. So all these things put pressure on him mentally. Every second or third day he was advised by doctors to go to rest. And he had high blood pressure and whatnot. So he couldn't cope with the situation. That is my assessment.
Is he going to be the largest single party again?
Who?
The present Prime Minister?
Oh, they can hardly save their identity in elections. In a fair election, we are the only people who have withstood the test of time so far, and we have won all the elections. Since 1934, Muslim Conference, in all fair elections, we have won the election. Since 1934, in all elections.
So what you're
Except
saying,
when it was rigged like that.
So what you're saying is, by dissolving Parliament, he's encompassed his almost certain destruction.
That's right. That's somewhat he has done, yes. He himself would be wanting to protect his seat, wanting us to protect his seat. He cannot himself even secure his own seat.
Well. You sound absolutely confident about it. No doubts at all.
No point in it, unless, of course, some accident took place which we do not comprehend.
I assumed he'd dissolved Parliament now because he felt confident of getting a bigger.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
That's a normal reason people dissolve
You see, with all the federal government at his support, at his back, 24 ministers campaigning, millions and millions of rupees on record spent, and yet we emerge as the single largest party. They did not emerge as a single largest party.
They're the second largest party.
They're the second largest party. It is a coalition. It's a coalition. Yes.
I knew they weren't overall majority.
So how can they now, after dissolving, after having gone through, after giving that certificate in his own hand, that he was surrounded by blackmailers and the people were not interested in the movement of liberation, how can they expect to emerge as a single largest party? It's inconceivable. And what the show that they have put up of their administrative and the statecraft caliber, if somebody was to give you a brief on that, you would simply surprise them. They made a mess of it.
Exhausted. Will he hold on to his own seat?
Well, he's trying to, but I think he's in a difficult position. Very difficult position. It might be a fluke. Just by chance he might get a seat. Otherwise, I think the calculated game, I don't think.
So what's he going to campaign on? Is he going to campaign on
Nothing.
Kashmir?
How can? When he's given that certificate to his own colleagues. How
Well, I asked him this question this morning because I said I assume both parties are saying something very similar about Kashmir. Both parties are saying
No, but-
that you and I have said to each
No,
other.
we have not only been saying, but we have accomplished it by our practice. In practice, we accomplished what we've been saying. And we've been holding on to it ever since 1947, since the modern liberation started. So the other parties are mushroom growth of accidents here, accident here, accident there. We are the only party working in continuity. And we are the result of a historical process, whereas they are the result of a political process.
Yes. 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 I know to my cost the former is trying to be more enduring than the latter.
Yes.
Now, what brings you here today? I mean, to this country. I mean, why are you here?
So I invited him. I invited him to meet you here. You see.
And you don't just come especially for this purpose.
Yes. He is here for this purpose, just to meet you. Both my friend Parishan Khatak is a renowned scholar, renowned all over the world almost. He visits America, UK and everywhere, and he is the senior vice president of our party, has been a minister. And the
They
other
haven't travelled
gentleman...
quite as far as you, have they?
Sorry?
They haven't travelled quite as far as you've travelled.
No.
Who's looking after the business while you're here?
My family.
But you were able to get a ticket without very much difficulty, weren't you?
That's true. The question is, did you vote in the local elections before you came? Oh, my family was supporting and delivering all the pamphlets and going door to knock the people.
I'm not answering your question.
He wasn't here.
Nothing. We did well as well. Oh, yeah, the increased majority.
When you go back?
Up to 3.
Oh, as long as that.
It's not very long. We have elections,
I know.
we have elections in Azad this week.
I have councillors who, on Birmingham Council, who disappear for 6 weeks from Birmingham. We have to pass special resolutions to prevent them from being disqualified from meeting because they're back here in Mirpur. And I don't know what they're doing back here, but they suddenly go away for 6 weeks and we don't see them. You write fiction.
I write many things, poetry, fiction, history, culture, all of my subjects at the same time. Basically, I'm an educationist. I'm also a member of University Grants Commission. You know, we've got 22 universities.
Yes.
And my office looks after all the universities, along with 26 research centers and plus universities. I mean, we look after the higher education funds. That is my profession. And as a writer, I write many things.
You're also an author of...
I'm a writer, yes. Rather like your colleague here. I mean, my profession is politics, but I also write many things.
Yes, he's a writer himself. Yeah.
And you are writing?
Well, yes, I do.
Diverse subjects.
Diverse subjects. My second novel comes out in a month today. My first novel came out last year. My second novel comes out a month well, it's available a month today. The publication date is the 31st of June. I do a column every week for the Guardian newspaper every Saturday. I've written a book on political theory. And some of the essays that I've written...
4 or 5 books that you have.
Various magazines have been put together and published in anthologies.
What's the theme of your novel?
It's a Victorian style novel. It's a long family saga, 250,000 words, 3 generations, many characters. It's written in the 19th century style.
Oh, yes.
Indeed, so is this one that comes out next month. I've written 2 250,000-word novels in the last 4 years. Normally in 5-minute bursts when I wasn't thinking. your University Grant Commission work in the same system as the British one?
Yes, of course, we follow the same.
You see, ours doesn't work in their own way anymore. As you know, we changed it so the government can have...
changes.
I mean, it was invented to prevent the government influencing university policy. This government changed it so they can influence university policy.
That I know.
And very badly, in my view, quite the wrong rule.
We had a meeting with your Vice Chancellor last year over here. The Vice Chancellor from Nottingham University, Health City University, visited us, and the registrars and also the controller of examination. We had a long meeting of about 3 weeks with him here. We understand the system. Last year, along with him, I examined that system which you have sent. That's more healthy, but both India and Pakistan follow the same old system of university transmission.
But there's not much of government interference in universities, is there?
Of course, but there are a lot of things to be discussed in that. But the University Grants Commission, as they had, which we follow, no more exists there in England. And exists in the same old form here in Pakistan.
Now the government is telling the University Grant Commission that it must reduce the number of different departments in different universities, saying why should you have a department of geology in one Yorkshire university and a half-full department of geology in another Yorkshire university only 40 miles away. You only need one department and it'll save expense and cost. And this is government interference which we've not had before. Universities have made their own mind up. Mr. President, I must leave you with your proper
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's been a very great pleasure, and I'm very grateful. I wish we had a great time with you. But,
Thank you very much.
you come here. Yes, right.